With Iron Fist now back in the hands of Disney and Marvel, there is an uncertain future for the character when it comes to live action. Now in this video, we're going to be talking about how to bring Iron Fist into the MCU proper. So first up, let's cover the most basic and easiest way to go about this. Bringing back Finn Jones as the Iron Fist, new suit, new everything, and you just acknowledge that the previous things happened, and here he is as the immortal Iron Fist. He's got the powers, he can do everything that we saw that they were building up towards at the end of Season 2. He has now fully become the Iron Fist from the comics, and they fully just play up that he's Iron Fist. You could probably bring the character back in one of the other TV things you're developing, or the most common expectation is if they ever use him, they could put him into the upcoming Shang-Chi movie, or team him up with Shang-Chi down the road. This can easily be explained. You don't really need to explain to everybody who exactly Iron Fist was or his backstory. If he just shows up, he has the cool new MCU style Iron Fist suit, and he happens to be friends/acquaintances with Shang-Chi, there is your in. It's pretty easy to take it down. It's a pretty easy explanation. They've done this with other characters, giving them simple introductions and having fans fall in love with them, like Black Panther and Spider-Man in Civil War. The other route would be to revive the show over on Hulu and put more of an emphasis on Hulu having more Marvel content, as we know that Disney wants to focus on streaming, Hulu being a giant part of it. If you can revive that universe, you could just pick up where you left off, or legitimately just soft reboot with the immortal Iron Fist. Now, the big question would be, do you bring back Finn Jones, or do you just recast and pick up as if, well, it is sort of a soft reboot, we'll acknowledge things in the past, but we'll do our own thing. And honestly, that would probably be the best course of action. Another big possibility would be to ignore everything that happened with Finn Jones and use Jessica Henwick, who of course played Colleen Wig, and use her as the new Iron Fist, and just say that she is the Iron Fist because we saw her at the end of Season 2 wielded the sword, which dates all the way back to the first female Iron Fist. There is a lot of connections and easy connections to be made there, and you could take that character, drop her into Shang-Chi or into the MCU proper, and you could more or less have her show up anywhere, or even the proper Iron Fist, maybe again Finn Jones, maybe not. You could have those characters show up in more of the street level projects that they're developing. Moon Knight could honestly work. At this point, you could even add the character to the likes of something like Hawkeye, for example, or for example, something like She-Hulk even could introduce a character like that. It's honestly not that far-fetched. I mean, it's a character with a glowing fist. That's really not that hard. Now, if I was to reboot this, I would honestly start the process with the upcoming Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, where in the multiverse, he would see some of those Netflix characters get acknowledged with those actors. But when he gets back to the quote-unquote new normal, and the universe is restored, we get the idea that things aren't exactly as they seem. When Doctor Strange is back in the new normal, we see that there's reports of many more heroes existing. They're sort of all over the place, just running around, because the universes have sort of converged, if you will, and nobody can really tell the difference because, again, they've all kind of just grown accustomed to it, but Doctor Strange knows the things that affected this. This could easily explain all the different Spider-Verse things that are happening, and all those continuities. And again, it's an easy explanation to put into the upcoming Doctor Strange movie dealing with the multiverse. The fallout could have huge ramifications where upcoming projects, we all as fans look for those subtle little changes. This I would use honestly as a reintroduction to the Iron Fist, because I would completely just reboot the character. Don't stick to anything that came before, and make Iron Fist somebody that is once again friends with Shang-Chi, and in the upcoming Shang-Chi sequel, that's where I would reintroduce Danny Rand. And I would quickly explain his backstory, make the two team up, and I would make like the secondary villain of Shang-Chi 2 have more of a connection to Danny Rand, so there is an excuse to include him as a additional character. Not a major supporting role, but one that could be fit into the film. Now there is also the issue with Kunlun. This of course is the city where Danny Rand, the Iron Fist, is from, and you could easily explain that the reason all these changes are being made, and the reason Iron Fist is different, and the reason he's here now, is because when everything was happening, he was in and Kunlun. Due to the convergence of everything in the multiverse, when Kunlun reappeared and Danny Rand leaves, everything is different. Honestly, I think the key would be in the simplicity of the character, and that's really how I would handle it. I would not acknowledge the Netflix stuff at all unless you decide to bring back Daredevil in that fashion, but then again, due to multiverse and messing with time and everything, it's pretty easy to explain that things have changed since those days. But overall, you toss the character into Shang-Chi 2, and you just go from there and nobody's really gonna care.